when you started out in this what was it? What was the band
Oh
name?
my,
Go ahead, Holly.
Slick. I'm all about Slick.
Slick. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
So you were on the one we saw was, or I saw was Top of the Pops. You must have been like Bad Company, like Paul Rogers' age, probably like 19, 20 at that age, at that time.
Yeah, it was around that early 20s, I think was Slick first time doing Top of the Pops. An interesting experience.
Interesting. Because so much different, and I couldn't tell if you were having fun.
Well, it was kind of fun. The reason it wasn't, the highlight of my life was that I turned up. I was born in Glasgow in Scotland, and the band travelled all the way down to London to make a first record. And we walked into the studio, and they had the session guys in that morning, the same guys who played in all the Bay City Rollers tunes. It was the same writers, same producers, and they treated us the same way. So when our record got to #1 in the UK, we felt nothing. It wasn't ours. We didn't contribute. We didn't play it. We weren't allowed to do anything with it. So it was a bittersweet experience. But I wouldn't change it. Like even the bad bits in a career are sometimes good.
Yeah, and a learning experience, right?
And a massive learning experience, of course. You learn never to allow someone to do it to you again. You kind of vow to yourself that if rather than doing what other people want you to do for them, try and do what you want to do, and hopefully someone out there will recognize what it is you're doing and they'll empathize with you and they'll get some kind of solace, from that. And that's what I've tried to do since like, so it was a learning experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess conversely, you had a Malcolm McLaren wanted you in the Sex Pistols. So I mean, you could have been in either one of those bands. Was that a choice you had at that time?
It wasn't at the time. I didn't realize that that's kind of what it was. I mean, I was already in Slick. I was already playing in this band. We're just about to make this first single, and I was stopped in the streets of Glasgow, not because I was a musician, but because of how I looked. When everyone else had really long feather cut hair, I had a James Dean quiff, believe it or not. And the guy who stopped me in the street was Bernie Rhodes, who went on to manage the Clash. And he just said, "Look, can you speak to my friend round the corner it's about music?" And his friend was Malcolm McLaren, who obviously I didn't know. This was 1974 or something, 75. And he told me about the New York Dolls. He told me about Vivienne Westwood and his shop and making clothes. And then he said, "I'm putting a band together. Do you want to join?" And I said, "Well, you haven't even asked if I'm a musician. You don't know what I do. You're asking me because of, periphery, not the core of it all." So I turned it down, and of course, lo and behold, it was the Pistols. So there's no chance of me joining the Pistols. It was just the wrong thing.
That's such a fluke. That's so weird.
It's such a